Mendeecees, come on. Oh yes, I'm here for Foolery Friday. One more time. Oh yes, sit back, relax, and learn. What's my name? Come on. Oh yes, I'm here for Foolery Friday. One more time. Oh yeah, sit back, relax, and learn. Let's get into it. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Sass here. I'm here for another Foolery Friday. Yeah, I'm here, y'all. Well, yes. Last week I took off. Sometimes you just need a break from all of the foolery and the foolishness. I'm back this week. I hope you all are doing well. I'm doing just fine. I want to give a shout out to one of my sisters out there, Denise. I'm saying your name, honey. Denise. Thank you so much for sending me this shirt. I love it. I absolutely love it. See, I want to put this little outfit together with this shirt. You know, thinking that I'm cute. You know, I want to put a little song together. I appreciate you. Just me thinking that you think of me to send me this. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Okay? I have always said I got the best supporters. I said that. And I mean it. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I can't hear you. That's right. Because I'm right. The best. See, the Sasters in the Sass Army is the best. So thank you so much. Speaking of DMX, honey, they laid him to rest. The Rough Riders showed up and showed out. Now, I did not watch all of the, funeral proceedings. I was in and out. I watched clips, and you know what? They did good by him. Okay, so that's all you can ask for. All right, R.I.P. to one of the greatest hip-hop legends ever. Fight amongst yourselves. Okay. Now, I also heard Faith Evans singing. Now, listen. There was a whole lot of chatter about the way she was singing. Y'all, it wasn't that bad. Before I listened, I thought, oh, Lord, Faith Evans is going to sound like an injured chihuahua. What is Faith Evans doing? Faith? Because, see, we know Faith got pipes. We know Faith can sing. Everybody has their off day. So when I listened to it, I was like, it ain't that bad. Was she struggling? Yes, she was. Was this not her best performance? Oof. She had better performances. Was this the worst thing I ever heard? No. Have y'all forgot about Fergie and the national anthem? Now see, that's up there. That's up there. Faith just didn't have it. And furthermore, you hear certain people sing certain songs and you're like, you shouldn't even touch it. Now the Clark Sisters, that's just a song that Faith should have touched until she drunk some hot tea and lemon. See, she should have drunk her some hot tea and lemon before she went up there and performed this song. Because we all know the Clark Sisters. And y'all, it just went on and on and on. Faith got to singing and doing her runs. And then another woman got to singing. And then the background singer, that guy, he got to singing. That song was like 7 minutes long. I said, okay, we get it. Okay, I get it, Faith. You try to pay a tribute. But too long. You know what, y'all? She still with Stevie J, ain't she? Ain't she married to Stevie J? Do you think Stevie J is sucking out her vocal cords? Woo! I still cannot believe they got married. But anyway, honey, what y'all think about her performance? I'll leave a link down below if y'all haven't heard it. Let's move on. All right, let's talk talk about Joseline and Wendy Williams. Joseline woke up and she chose to be ready, okay? Now, she was a guest on Wendy Williams. And from what I remember, Wendy has always said good things about Joseline. And I'm sure after this, they'll be fine. You know, Wendy goes through some guests and they have their little spats on live TV. It was Joseline's time. Joseline felt like that Wendy was not respecting her. Joseline said, listen here, Wendy, okay? You sitting up here as a black woman, talking to black women, okay? Black culture is what you speak on often. Respect us. Show us love. Give us our flowers. Joseline even threw in some shade. Joseline come talking about, you ain't in that abusive relationship anymore. You don't have to act like this. Act like you have some type of decorum. Give us love, just like we love you. So Wendy, honey, she just had a full-blown meltdown. Wendy was like, here's your flowers. Here's your flowers, honey. Wendy started throwing flowers. She was like, come on. So Joseline is still running off at the mouth. Wendy is trying to do everything she can to save this interview, child. She come talking about, let's show the shoe cam. Then Joseline is still running off at the mouth. And Wendy is like, oh, excuse me, production. Why is she still talking? Cut her mic. Why is this still going on? Shut it down, shut it down. Now, y'all know the people in the back was running around like chickens with the head cut off. I bet you they was like, now what's with it? Cut it off. Cut it. See, Wendy gonna cuss. See, you gonna get cussed out for this. Wendy ain't gonna cuss me out. Production intern number 3, I ain't getting cussed out. You getting cussed out. Joseline said that her show was the #1 show in the country. Is that true? I mean, I didn't even know Joseline even had a show until a couple of weeks ago when that clip came out and showing them girls. But it's the #1 show in the country. Joseline show in the country. Wendy, of course, had some shade and said, pump your brakes, Joseline. I mean, you know, I'm glad you got a show. But it's the #1 show on Zeus. On Zeus. And so Joseline said, it's the #1 show in the country, Miss Wendy. Look it up. And so Wendy was like, okay. No problem with Joseline. Joseline has her good points. But we all know how Joseline rolls. Okay? We all know. And we definitely know how Wendy rolls. Okay? This is just another spat. I don't really call it like a screaming match. It wasn't a screaming match. It was an online, spat where they just, gave each other something. That Wendy Williams said, I said what I said. She said, I don't apologize for nothing. Joseline said that's a problem. Just a mess. These two grown women on TV fussing at each other. Child, let's move on. What's going on with Blueface? Y'all, I'm going to need for y'all to comment down below what is going on with Blueface. And why does he have these harem of women staying in his house, sleeping in bunk beds, looking like who done it, what for? I'm going to ask y'all another question. What the house smell like? Put it down below. I'll wait. What does that house smell like? Let me just give y'all the ones that don't know. Blueface, he's a rapper, right? How many songs does he have? Because every time when I hear about Blueface, it's about him in some type of drama. With his baby mama, with his mother, with his sister. Now he got these women, young girls living in this house, tooth. I found a picture, I'll put it up here. Missing a whole front tooth. These young girls. And they always look dry and crusty. They always scratching the head, patting the head, honey. The wigs are sliding back. They got 3-day-old mascara around the eyes. They got crust around the lips. What is going on here? Is this for a show? I don't get it. I don't understand. So Blueface took it upon himself to take cameras inside of this house to show off the living conditions. Y'all, when I tell you these young girls better go and find another hobby, do something with your life. What is the point of you living in this house with a bunch of young girls with lack of dental care and sleeping in bunk beds, looking crusty, dusty, and rusty? Just ridiculous. And where are your parents? You are embarrassing yourself and everybody you love with this foolishness. I'll tell you what the house smelled like. The house smelled like wig glue, hot Cheetos, hot coochie, and regret. That's what that house smelled like. I don't understand. Y'all put it down below why these young girls are doing this. And the tooth, y'all, when I tell you the tooth, they missing teeth. This is going to end badly. Something is going to happen and Blueface's name is going to be attached. What? Listen to what I'm saying. Something bad is going to happen with this. This cannot be good. Cannot be good. Let's move on. In this week's episode of Get Your Cousins, we have a couple by the name of Courtney Wilson and Shanita Jones. They have known each other for over 30 years, okay? I think they were high school sweethearts, and they got back together. They got reacquainted because of the pandemic. So they decided to throw a lavish wedding, which I have no problem with. Now see, where the problem went wrong with your cousins, they not my cousins, they your cousins, is that they decided to get married in a vacant house that was up for sale. I hadn't heard about this story, but my the sass army came into my DMs, or they commented, they did something. T, thank you for this story. Thank you, girl, or boy, or whatever. I appreciate you. So, they go into this vacant house that was for sale. $5.5 million home. It was 5.5 or 5.7 million dollar home in South Florida. Boy, I tell you, you Floridians, I tell you, y'all something special. I'm telling you, y'all are something special. See, y'all haven't enclosed that helmet all the way. Y'all have not cinched that helmet tight enough. Now, the owner of this home is rich, wealthy. He is the heir of the IHOP franchise. Y'all didn't hear me. IHOP. You know, the place where you get the famous pancakes. And they got them hash browns that make you smack your mama. Yeah, that IHOP. His name is Nathan Finkel. So Shanita and Courtney told everybody. They sent out invitations. I think they did a virtual invitation and said, we found the house of our dreams. That's what they put. The house of our dreams. They said that God led them to this house. the, the food. They got the decorations. They got everything for this house that's vacant and for sale that don't belong to them. And Mr. Finkel, the IHOP heir, did not give them permission. So the day of the wedding, Courtney, the groom, is inside the vacant house. And who does he run into? Mr. Finkel. Can you imagine being the heir of IHOP, Mr. Finkel, see this black man up in your house and you wondering to yourself, why are you here? So what did Mr. Finkel do? Mr. Finkel dialed 911 and said, listen here now, I got some trespassers on my property talking about they getting married today. Courtney, the groom, tells Mr. Finkel that this is God's plan. There are people, guests, at the gate, waiting to get in. Huh? What? So, of course, the officers rolled up and said, you, and you got to go. Take your feet to the street. You are trespassing. Mr. Finkel did not charge them with anything. Only thing they're charged with is embarrassing themselves and everybody they love. God sent you that house. Why y'all keep putting God in this? God ain't telling you to lie. Shyster. Frauds. My thing is when their friends and family seen this on their virtual invitation or whatever, and they say dream home. We found our dream home. A $5.5 million house. When you think their family and friends, I'm thinking, nobody tapped them on the shoulder and said, are you okay? This ain't your dream home. We know how you live. We know where you work. A couple of weeks ago, we was at your townhouse. Shanita and Courtney, go somewhere and sit. Y'all always gotta embarrass somebody. Again, your cousins, not my cousins. They're your cousins. Now, y'all know I'm fair when it comes to the cousin. Come get your cousin. My Caucasian persuasion. It's your turn. Mr. Tony Collins, a zoning commissioner out of North Carolina. North Carolina, put your hands up. Take your shirt out. Where is Petey Pablo? Where's Petey Pablo at? Honey, he put North Carolina on the map. So Tony Collins, a zoning commissioner out of North Carolina, was having this Zoom meeting. Okay? And a young, brilliant lady by the name of Dr. Carrie Rosario was present. And she had time. So Tony Collins proceeds to introduce everyone and tell everyone their names. And so he got to Dr. Carrie Rosario and he says, Carrie Rosario. He left out doctor. So Dr. Carrie had to just tell him what's up. See, she said, Dr. Rosario. See, Tony, he didn't want to acknowledge, okay, that she has a full-blown doctorate from UNC. So he continued to call her Carrie. So Dr. Carrie said, Dr. Rosario. Tony didn't hear that. Tony got to fumbling over his words. He got to stutter because, see, Dr. Carrie was pushing back. Put respect on my degree. Dr. Rosario. So he got to fumbling and spinning and drooling and talking all in circles, talking about it really don't matter. Tony, it does matter. See, just because you don't have doctor in front of your name, respect Carrie, who does. So she says, oh, you wrong there, Tony. See, it does matter. It's Dr. Rosario, and your behavior behavior is very unprofessional and appalling. You should be ashamed of yourself. So he done got red face, dry mouth. He didn't know what to say. But let me tell you what happened after that. Say it with me, friends. F-I-R-E-D. You're fired. Tony Collins is no longer zoning commissioner. See, when y'all cut a shine like this, and refuse to act accordingly, this is what happens. Don't y'all get tired of getting embarrassed and fired? Only thing you had to do is put respect on this young girl's name, Dr. Carrie Rosario. And now you out back. You done embarrassed yourself and everybody that you love. Y'all just don't learn, do you? I don't get it. Let's move on. Oh boy. Let's talk about Mendeecees and Wendy. Y'all know them. They are from Love and Hip Hop. Okay. And we know Mendeecees, honey, he made poor choices and decisions. Selfish choices and decisions that put him in prison. What was it, y'all? 4 to 5 years. Now, while he was in prison, he had a whole wife, Wendy. He also has children by this woman. They also had a television wedding. Okay. Now, in the vows, when you get married, it says for better or for worse. Am I wrong, friends? For better or for worse? Well, you know, going to prison for years, that's at the bottom. That's the worst. But Wendy held him down. Financially, I'm sure mentally, she held him down. I believe Wendy was even outside of a jail or prison protesting because the jail inside was too hot. Okay, the AC didn't work. Am I wrong? Wasn't that Wendy protesting the prison system or the jail not having no air conditioning and her man was in there baking, hook a coochie hot? Am I wrong about that? See, she had the vows. For better or worse. She held him down. So he got out, and from what I remember, he got out with a smile on his face, so that he was happy. Who was there? The cameras and his wife. Didn't he have on a fur? Or was that her? Okay. So they're on one of those VH1 shows. What's it called? Couples Retreat, Couples Love, Couples I Can't Get Together, Couples I'm Gonna Fuss and Fight. They on that. And so Wendy asked Mendeecees, if the roles were reversed, would you hold me down if I went to prison? He hesitates. And he says, I don't know. Now, friends, this is just my opinion, okay? It's my opinion. This is just me. I will have a problem with that. I'm the mother of your children. I am your wife. Okay? Because, see, when you was in there needing commissary, when you was in there needing someone to talk to, I put money on the books. I put money on the telephone calls. I came to visit. I held you down. I am your wife. I'm not a girlfriend. I'm not a side chick. I am your wife. And the reason why you were in prison because of your poor decisions and your selfishness. See, when you was doing the illegal acts, you weren't thinking about us and how it would affect me and your children. It ain't just that he went away to prison. It affects the whole family. What about our mental state? Mendeecees standing there with his Colgate smile, honey. His Colgate smile, honey. I don't know. I have a problem with that. If I was Wendy, that would hurt my feelings to the core. You are my husband. This is what we do for each other. And she said that Mendeecees finally admitted that he will have to think about holding her down. So they done had these discussions. That is, no, that is awful. And if I was Wendy, I have to think twice about this so-called marriage. Because see, now she got in the back of her head resentment. She is going to remember that forever. How dare you? How dare you? And she should feel that way. Now, people are saying, on the other hand, Mendeecees was just being honest. Really? Okay, well, honestly, you're a piece of shit. And honestly, I'm about to cuss you out as soon as them cameras go off. And honestly, I see where you stand. That would be me, honestly. It should be yes off the cuff, just for her holding you down in prison, just for her being the mother and taking care of your children. It should be automatic yes. What are you talking about? I don't know. For better or for worse? It's not for better or I don't know. Huh? As soon as this hit the internet, honey, y'all know they start taking off limbs of Mendeecees. He says, "Good afternoon, Instagram!" Exclamation point. FYI, I never said I wouldn't have held Wendy down. I felt like I didn't want to say what everyone wanted me to say because it sounds good and salacious. Let me read that again. For the ones that said that he was just being honest, let me read that again. He says, I felt like I didn't want to say what everyone wanted me to say because it sounds good and salacious. So you got on TV, hurt your wife's feelings because this is something that you thought that we wanted you to say? What I meant was, you don't know what you'll do until you are in the situation and they become your circumstances and you figure it out. First of all, Mendeecees, you don't know what you'll do when you're in that situation. Your wife didn't hesitate. You put yourself in that situation by doing illegal acts. She didn't even hesitate. You're right. She didn't hesitate to have your back. You want to know why? Because she's your wife and you are her husband. I believe actions speak louder than words. That's right. And the action was when you stood there in front of your wife and say, I don't know if I'm going to hold you down. That was your action. You spoke loudly. And her action was to take care of you and your children while you were locked up in kibbles and bits. I believe actions speak louder than words and love conquer all. And if anybody knows me, they know I love my family. Shut up, Mendeecees. Wendy. If you felt any type of way about what your husband said, you are right to feeling that way. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, should she leave her husband over this? Child, who am I to say? I ain't saying that. But if she feels hurt by what her husband said to her, she has every right to feel that way. Every single right. Child, what would y'all do? What would y'all do if your husband went to prison for 5 years? What was it, 4 or 5 years? Leave your comment down below. Let's move on. All right, friends, that is it. That's all I can give, all right? I hope y'all have a fantastic and safe weekend, okay? Y'all know what to do. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, friends,